Hola. Muy buenos días. Mi nombre es Karen Polnitz. Good morning. My name is Karen Polnitz, and I serve gratefully as your new full-time Director of Lifelong Learning. Sirvo con gratitud como directora del aprendizaje por vida. Bienvenidos a la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de Fresno. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. Welcome to our annual all-ages water communion and blessing of the backpacks. Welcome to everyone on our virtual church campus. Welcome to everyone on our Alluvial Avenue church campus. Welcome to everyone watching the service later on Facebook or YouTube. That'll be me. We are one congregation in many places. Somos una congregación en muchos lugares. We pause and acknowledge that our Alluvial Avenue church campus sits within the traditional homelands of the Yokuts people, the past, the present, and future stewards of this land. As Unitarian Universalists, we welcome you no matter your race, culture of origin, age, spiritual background, or religious beliefs. We welcome you no matter your disabilities, the amount of money in your bank account, your level of education, or your neurodiversity. As Unitarian Universalists, we not only open our doors to people of all sexual orientations and gender identities, we value diversity of sexuality and gender and see it as a spiritual gift. You are welcome with or without documentation. Son bienvenidos con papeles y sin papeles. Todos son bienvenidos aquí. If you are on our virtual campus, we want to make sure everyone can share in our joy, sorrow, gratitude, or concern time. Please type those now in the chat box. This is the moment to type your joy, sorrow, concern, or gratitude, and we'll write them down and give them to Tim so he can include them later in the service. If you don't do it now in the chat box, we won't have time to include them. Today is our annual water communion. If you are on our virtual campus and wish to participate at home, this is the perfect time to go get a cup of water and a small bowl that you can pour it into. Today is also our blessing of the backpacks for our kiddos. So if you have a young person who has a school backpack, a diaper bag, what have you, have them get it now so they can be blessed along with the kids in our Alluvial Avenue sanctuary. Now, in the chat box, in person, or in the silence of your heart, let us take a moment to say buenos dias and greet one another.
So Dad, Mark, Dad.
So first, let me just say how awesome it is to see so many kids with us on our Alluvial Ave campus, knowing we got kids on our virtual campus as well. So before I ring the ting sha to officially begin the service, I'm going to invite everybody to repeat after me. So kids, whatever you hear me say, you want to say really loud, okay? So, it. It is. It is good. It is good to be. It is good to be here. It is good to be here together.
One, two, three.
Like a mountain stream where the air is thin and the clouds are dancing on your cheek. Like a sudden rain on the Texas night when you catch your breath and can't speak. You are like water to me when the ground is bare and dry. When the rains come, it's easy to see that you are like water to me. Like a bright headlight on a long freight train in the deepest night all alone. Like some battered ship on a turbulent sea when that far-off lighthouse shone. You are like water to me when the shadows come by and by. When the dawn breaks, it's easy to see that you are like sunlight to me. Like skating on a frozen stream, like dancing wild and free. Like every song that's easy to sing, you are like water to me. Like a mountain stream where the air is thin and the clouds are dancing on your cheek. Like a sudden rain on a Texas night when you catch your breath and can't speak. You are like water to me when the ground is bare and dry. When the rains come, it's easy to see that you are like water to me.
Nico, if we could have the pulpit, please.
Good morning. Yes? Okay. Better. Good morning. Buenos dias. My name is Reba Guimon, and I serve gratefully on the worship arts team. If you have a candle or chalice with you on our virtual campus, bring it close as we'll be lighting it soon. Today we light our chalice in celebration of our new church year, which began last week, and today's annual water communion, a ritual taking place in Unitarian Universalist churches all over the country. The mingling of our individual cups of water into one bowl of community symbolizes that we each freely choose to come together as a progressive church community, committed to our shared religious values, one congregation in many places. I've missed attending church on Sunday during the month of July with the understanding that Reverend Tim and the staff deserved a much-needed rest from their Sunday morning duties. And now, as a member of nearly 5 years, I'm looking forward to the new church year, as it means I'm resuming my Sunday morning ritual, getting ready for church. On my way to church, I stop and get my once-a-week Starbucks skinny vanilla latte. Yeah, much needed. Being brought up in a church that was so conditional in order to belong, I make sure I'm here on time because I don't like missing how everyone is welcomed, no matter, at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. I look forward to the weekly service, from chalice lighting, meditation, Stolen Thunder's music, and how Tim shares the personal sorrows and celebrations and reveals the world's struggles and successes that we faced during the week, leaving us sadly shaking our heads together or erupting in unison with cheers and clapping in celebration. When our worship arts team met this week, we reflected how our Unitarian Universalist Church had the capacity to make progress servicing members in need, maintaining church services virtually, and how the diversity of talented church members were unwavering in contributing to not only continuing services, but also in the growth during unprecedented, challenging times during the pandemic. I look forward to reconnecting through the opportunities available, whether it be Sunday services on campus, virtual campus, Common Read, worship arts team, and African drumming, or individually, and the many ways offered when we come together for a cause, realizing strength in numbers, or when we learn about our diversity and the many gifts members have to offer. I look forward to creating space where we, as a congregation, can express hope and inclusion during these ongoing, complicated times we are all living through. I serve gratefully, and I'll add humbly, as I look forward to working together to further the message of love through where I have found my spiritual home. In that spirit, I invite you to light your chalice or candle at home while Oliver and his mother, Melissa, and Dad lights the chalice on our Alluvial Avenue campus. You can do it. Yay. Let us rise now in body or spirit and join in singing the song of praise, Morning Has Come.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. A light of hope is shines upon each face. May
invite us to remain standing as we say together the mission statement. La misión de la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de Fresno es amar inclusivamente, crecer espiritualmente, servir con gratitud y trabajar por la justicia. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno is to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice. Please be seated.
At the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, to send forth our children at the start of each school year with a special blessing upon their backpacks. And we invite any kids on our Alluvial Avenue campus or at home to put on their backpack now. We have extra backpacks here in our Alluvial Avenue sanctuary if you need one. Chloe will bring one to you if you raise your hand. Within our Unitarian Universalist faith, the word blessing takes on many meanings. For us, a blessing need not be a magical incantation, but an opportunity to take the love in our hearts and send it out into the world. Today, we invite each other as a church community to send some love to our children and their backpacks as we prepare to usher in a new school year. If you are joining us from home and have a child who wants to be part of this blessing, please put a gentle hand on their backpack or shoulder. If you have a child in your Alluvial Avenue pod, I invite you to lay a gentle hand upon their backpack or shoulder. The rest of us at home and on Alluvial Avenue are invited to extend a hand out, palm up, sending love to the children here, at home, and all around the world. Please repeat after me. Spirit of life, fuente de amor. Spirit of life, fuente de amor. We gather today to honor a new chapter. We gather today to honor a new chapter. We send forth our children. Send forth our children with wishes for discovery and joy. With wishes for discovery and joy. May their backpacks be a symbol. May their backpacks be a symbol of space to grow and room to fill. Of space to grow and room to fill. May the year ahead fill the space with new questions. Fill the space with new questions and new understandings. May each day bring them a sense of wonder, an opportunity to love, and a passion for life. May their backpacks remind them they carry our love wherever they go. May they be safe. May they be happy. May they be free to simply be. Que así sea, bendito sea. Amén. Así sea, bendito sea. Amen. May it be so, blessed be. Amen.
May it be so, blessed be. Amen. So we move from blessing our backpacks to our annual all-ages water communion ceremony. Now, how many of us have ever heard the word communion before? Okay. Now, I want to acknowledge that for some of us, the word communion is a big, scary, religious word because it may carry with us some hurt or some baggage. But I want us to reclaim that word right now within the context of Unitarian Universalism, because communion is just a word that means sharing. So can everybody say that word together? Sharing. And this ceremony is about sharing. It's about sharing ourselves. It's about sharing our love. It's about sharing what's in our heart with each other in the world. We use water to represent this sharing and this coming together as one Unitarian Universalist community of faith, one congregation in many places, una congregación en muchos lugares. To help us get ready for our ritual, first we welcome the awesome member of our high school group, Eliana, and she will be joined by Riva.
This morning, some of us brought water from places we visited this summer. Others brought water from our backyard garden hose or the kitchen faucet. Others of us had no idea we should bring water to church, and many of us simply forgot. Never fear, on our Alluvial Avenue campus, we have water in small cups available for you to use. If you are on our virtual campus, you can still go get a small bowl and a cup of water so you can be part of our ritual.
The place where the water comes from doesn't really matter. What matters is that it represents you. It represents all the ways you are nourished in body and spirit.
Water is precious. It is a source of life. It flows through the world's rivers, it drops from the skies, it soars in the sea, and it pulses in our bodies.
We mingle our water amidst an ongoing pandemic, climate crises, and deep divisions in our country. We do so amidst a dangerous drought.
Water touches every shore and nourishes every race of people. The water we will blend represents the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. It connects us to floodwaters in Kentucky and tears shed in Afghanistan, Yemen, and other places around the world. This morning, this water represents our connection to this church community. By pouring our water into our common bowl, we are saying, this is my community. I am part of this.
This Unitarian Universalist faith tradition is my religion.
Or, for folks who are new to Unitarian Universalism or this church and are exploring, you're saying that, for this moment, something here speaks to your soul. To pour your water and symbolically blend it with everyone else's says that you want to recommit for another year to this church, this faith that sides with love, that nourishes our spirit, that challenges us to change our world for the better.
Here on our Alluvial Avenue campus, spread out on the table around our bowl of community, we also have shiny blue gemstones. After you pour your water into our bowl of community, we invite you to pick up one of those blue gemstones and take it with you back to your seat. After the service, take it with you back to your home and put it someplace where you will see it from time to time. Let that blue gemstone remind you that you are connected to this church community.
In a moment, anyone who wishes to participate in our water communion will be able to come forward. We're going to begin with our socially distanced section. After all of you have carefully come forward, and if you need the water, there's the table that has the small cups, then we're going to continue with first the far side over here. Everybody on the far side, give me a wave. Yep, all of you. And what you're going to do is you're going to go around back and come down the center aisle right here. So come around and back. And after the far side has gone, then the center section. Everybody in the center section, give me a wave. Okay, that's great. And then once this begins, everybody on our virtual campus will be invited to pour water into their own bowl at home.
But first, we invite Suhana to pour water that includes a single drop of water from the San Joaquin River. We pour it to remind us of so many dry places in the West, including here in the Central Valley, where water is precious for its scarcity. We pour it to remind us of the tears cried in the San Joaquin Valley by farm workers, many who are Black, Indigenous, and other people of color, working so hard in the hot summer sun. Bless these waters so that they might awaken our thirst for social and environmental justice.
We invite Aaron to pour water from the past, water saved from previous water communions celebrated by the same church community, water brought by many over the years, water brought by some who have moved on, water brought by those who have now passed into the mysteries of death. Bless these waters that they might help us remember.
In a moment, we will bring water from this present moment. Water that on this day is filled with memories of our summer, water that holds all the joy and hope, sadness and concern that we're carrying in our hearts. Bless these waters of this present moment that they might help us to be mindful of the gift of life. Our socially distanced section may now come forward, being mindful of the distance between pods and remembering we do have water for you at the small table. As they begin to move, we're going to hear music from First Unitarian Brooklyn in Brooklyn, New York, those who are singing from our virtual campus. And at this moment, those who are participating in our water communion at home, you may now pour your bowl and mingle the waters. Let our water communion begin. Do remember to take a gemstone.
Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Bring it in a bucket, Sylvie. Bring it in a bucket now. Bring it in a bucket, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Sylvie come running, bucket in her hand. She will bring a little water fast as she can. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while.
Can't you see me coming? Can't you see me now? I will bring a little water.
Every little once in a while. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Once in a while, won't you bring me a little water, Sylvie? Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Once in a while, won't you bring me a little water, Sylvie? Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while.
2, 3, 4.
Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Don't you hear me calling, Sylvie? Don't you hear me calling now? Don't you hear me calling, Sylvie? Every little once in a while. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Getting mighty thirsty, Sylvie. Getting mighty thirsty now. Getting mighty thirsty, Sylvie. Every little once in a Can you hear me calling, Sylvie? Can you hear me calling now? Can you hear me calling, Sylvie? Every little once in a while. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Don't you hear me calling, Sylvie? Don't you hear me calling now? Don't you hear me calling, Sylvie? Every little once in a while. Little water, Sylvie. Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Getting mighty thirsty, Sylvie. Getting mighty thirsty now. Getting mighty thirsty, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Bring me a little water Don't you hear me calling, Sylvie? Don't you hear me calling now? Don't you hear me calling, Sylvie? Every little once in a while. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water. Every little once in a while. 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 Every little once in a
I have 2 cups of water. The first I pour for all those members and friends who are unable to participate today for any reason. By our pouring this water into our bowl of community, you are with us. This water is for all those who are watching the service later on Facebook or YouTube. You are part of this community. Our waters have been mingled. Now let us join our voices in blessing this water in our bowl of community.
Our response is, bendecimos estas aguas con nuestro amor. We bless these waters with our love. Would you please say that with me? Bendecimos estas aguas con nuestro amor. We bless these waters with our love. And once more, bendecimos estas aguas con nuestro amor. We bless these waters with our love.
So that was the practice. Now we do it real time. I invite you, as you are comfortable, to rise in body or spirit. And as we are comfortable doing so, please reach a hand, palm up, toward our bowl of community or the bowl in your own home. Imagine that all our love and good intentions is flowing from us into the water before us.
Spirit of life, fuente de amor. May this water remind us that even as our bodies thirst, our souls too can experience cries of frustration, remember oceans of separation, feel the sweat of effort, and know the sense of uplift that tears of happiness can bring. Together, let us say, bendecimos estas aguas con nuestro amor. We bless these waters with our love.
We know that few of our dreams come true without the help of others around us. And even the dreams we fulfill alone beg for the company of others to make them meaningful. Together, let us say,
bendecimos estas aguas con nuestro amor. We bless these waters with our love. Let us bless this water with our individual hearts and our shared commitment so that we understand this truth. Just as water is the essence of our very life, it is our relationships to one another, to the earth, to the great mystery of being that makes life worth living. One last time, together, let us say, bendecimos estas aguas con nuestro amor. We bless these waters with our love. Que así sea. Bendito sea. Amen.
May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Amen.
Let's rise now. We're already rising. We're already standing. So let's continue standing and let's sing together Somos el Barco. If you don't know it, I think you're going to pick it up pretty quickly. Let's sing together.
2, 3, 4.
Somos el barco, somos el mar. Yo navego en ti, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me. The boat we are sailing in was built by many hands. The sea we are sailing on touches every land. Somos el barco, somos el mar. Nego en ti, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me. So with our hope we set the sails and face the winds once more. And with our hearts we chart the waters never sailed before. Somos el barco, somos el mar. Yo navego en ti, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me.
Please be seated. We're going to send the kids off for some religious exploration spirit fun. So kids, you want to follow Karen, and then join up with Chloe, and let's have some fun. So
2, 3, 4. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go.
Your heart be at peace as you go to nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go. We hold you in our love as you go, May your heart be at peace as you go to nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
I invite us to take a nice, deep, centering breath in, and as we do so, we breathe in peace. We hold, breathe out love. Again, breathing in together, breathing in peace. We hold the moment, we transform, and breathe out love. One last time, taking in a deep, juicy breath, breathing in peace. We hold a moment. We breathe out love. After so much movement this morning, let us relish this moment of being still. We continue breathing together. Let's let that breath carry us back over the last 7 days and acknowledge that you have had a week of living that not everyone in this world was blessed with. So be grateful, as hard as the last week might have been. Find that gratitude. You're here. And as we rest in those memories of the last 7 days, a question for the week ahead. What intention would you like to bring into your new week? And so we carry those intentions into this moment where we create space to share our personal joys, concerns, sorrows, and gratitudes. Some of us stopped at the small table at the back of the church and wrote down a joy or sorrow. Some of us attempted doing that in the chat box on our virtual campus. I think we never ended up getting them, so I apologize, but we want to honor them. We do know that Saul and Babs Eskin are the joy that Ruthito, their daughter, is visiting us this weekend. So glad to have you with us. We want to extend happy birthday wishes to Tam and also to Ida, who celebrates a birthday this week. We remember, too, our beloved church members and friends who are living with health challenges, compromised mobility, or other impacts to their well-being. We lift up Bev F., who remains in the ICU in serious condition. Bev's family asks for thoughts and prayers for Bev. So let's just take a moment. We also remember Bill M., who has transitioned into the gentle care of hospice as he moves closer to the end of his long and well-lived life journey. We remember Valerie J. as she recovers from scheduled surgery, successful scheduled surgery this week. Sending you our love, Valerie. Donna P. continues wrestling with her cancer and health challenges. We send her love. Edith H., William H. Laura is with us today, but we continue sending love your way. Glenda R., Pat M., who is also in the gentle embrace of hospice care, Brandon E., and Josephine J. Looking beyond our church community, as we always do, we mark the 5th anniversary of the Charlottesville hate gathering. And we note that this is now the 5th anniversary of the death of Heather Heyer, who lost her life in that horrible, horrible, hateful day. We also acknowledge the 1st anniversary of the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan. We especially lift up the women and girls who have been so devastatingly impacted. We also lift up the LGBTQIA+ community that are being hunted down and murdered. Some are escaping. For all of Afghanistan, we remember. 2 griefs shared in our country this week. One, the funeral for Breonna Greer, the 28-year-old black woman who experienced a mental health episode and died in police custody while being transported by police in Hancock County, Georgia. Another case of Black lives not mattering to law enforcement. We also mark the sad news and grief that young Emmett Till was again denied justice when a grand jury failed to indict the white woman who now admits to lying about the incident that led to his savage murder so many decades ago. And even as we grieve, we celebrate the accomplishment of General Michael E. Langley, who this week became the first Black four-star general in the U.S. Marine Corps. And so, for all that has been shared, for all that we hold in the sacred silence of our own hearts, and for all those who on this day have no one to speak their name with gentleness or love, we light our candle of community. By our remembering, may we and they be blessed. We light a second candle for the 6.42 million citizens of the world who have lost their lives in this pandemic, 1.03 million who are citizens of our country. Our call to meditation, comfort me, consuélame.
1, 2, 3.
Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Consuélame, 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 oh mi alma. Consuélame, 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 oh mi alma. Speak to me, speak to me, speak to me, oh my soul. Speak to me, speak to me, speak to me, oh my soul. Háblame, 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 oh mi alma. Háblame, Comfort me, oh my soul.
So never fear, it's not going to be a full sermon. It's a snippet of a poem, and then a very short story, and then 4 questions. Oh, you're going to love the questions. El gran poeta mexicano Octavio Paz escribe. The great Mexican poet Octavio Paz writes, water and wind, agua y viento. The wind sings in its turnings. The water murmurs as it goes. One is the other and is neither. Among their empty names, they pass and disappear. Water and wind, agua y viento. We have a story. It's an old, old story from the lands that we once called Arabia. It comes from the religion of Islam. Our story is called The River and the Wind. Once upon a time, there was a river. It had fresh, clear water that was perfect for jumping in and swimming and drinking. Remember that, when you could drink the water of the river? The river flowed from high in the mountains. It flowed down to the Central Valley through farms and forests, over rocks and waterfalls, through towns and empty places. Because of the drought, it was less full than usual, but it still flowed fresh. On and on the river flowed. It felt like it was part of this great life adventure. Somehow, the river knew that one day it was going to be part of something greater. It just didn't know what that something greater was going to be. One day, the river reached the sands of the desert. The desert spread out for miles to the left, miles to the right, and miles and miles and miles and miles straight ahead. Just as it flowed through every other thing it faced, the river tried to flow across that huge desert. But the river found that as fast or as hard as it flowed, its waters just disappeared, sinking into the hot, deep, dry sand. The river believed that its destiny, its purpose, would be found on the other side of that desert, and yet it could not get across. It was very unsettling and upsetting. The river didn't know what to do. It felt anxious and uncertain. These were charted times. Suddenly, a hidden voice coming from the desert itself whispered, "The wind crosses the desert, and so can the river." The river said, "What do you mean that I can cross the desert? I've been trying to flow on top of the sand, but I'm only getting absorbed, sinking down and disappearing. The wind can fly across the desert, but I can't." The hidden voice whispered, "You cannot get to where you want to go by doing the things you have always done. You must let go. You must change." The river asked, "But how can that change happen?" The voice replied, "By allowing yourself to be carried by the wind." This idea was not acceptable to the river. After all, it had never been carried or held by anything before. It was a self-sufficient river. The river didn't want to let go, and it certainly didn't want to make a change. The hidden voice whispered, "You cannot get to where you want to go by doing the things you have always done. You must let go. You must change. The wind, said the hidden voice, will help you. It takes up water, carries it over the desert, and then lets it fall again. The river thought and then asked, but will I be the same river that I am today? The whisper said, are you ever the same river? Haven't you already gone through many changes? From your birth in the high mountains, haven't you already flowed through many places? To get to this place in the Central Valley, haven't you already moved through many places? Now, to go to where you want to go next, to become who you want to be next, you must let go of what you know. When it heard this, certain long ago memories began to rise in the thoughts of the river. It began to remember a long ago time in which it or some part of it had been held in the arms of the wind. It also remembered, or did it, that it had been carried to some place new. And so, the river raised its waters into the welcoming arms of the wind, which gently and easily evaporated it, absorbed it, took it up into a cloud. And in that cloud, the wind carried it across that wide, wide desert, many, many miles, and then let it fall softly as raindrops on the other side. The raindrops joined to become the river. The river was happy and began to flow forward once more until one day it met a great ocean. Once again, the river let go and allowed a change, this time letting the waves and tides of the great ocean absorb it, letting itself become part of the vast sea. And that's how the river finally found its destiny, its purpose, and became part of something greater, part of the great waters of the world. Where in your life do you need to let go? Where in your life do you need a change? What might you let carry you? Where in your life could you become part of something greater? In anticipation of letting go, in anticipation of change, in anticipation of being held and carried, in anticipation of that which is greater than us all. Let's join our voices and sing Life Calls Us On. Please rise in body or spirit.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Joy and sorrow make us one.
be seated.
On the second Sunday of each month, we hold a special offering for a social justice or social service group, organization, or individual that is in alignment with our Unitarian Universalist values. I'm pleased to introduce this month's recipient, the Holiday Gift Bag Project. To tell us a little bit about it, please welcome church member Kimberly Parenteau.
Everybody get the picture? Okay. Let me safely do this. Hello to those online. Good morning, everyone, and happy Sunday. My name is Kimberly Parento. I am not an official church member, and if you're looking at your order of service, you're expecting to see Joanne Michelson, and obviously I am not Joanne Michelson, as most of you know and love her. Joanne's feeling a little under the weather today, so I ask you to send prayers and good thoughts to her and for the Lord to help heal her swiftly and completely. Amen? Amen. I am here today to share about my love of the Holiday Gift Bag Project that is sponsored by the Inmate Family Council. I found out about this project 6 years ago at my current faith family of Fresno Wesley United Methodist Church. Do you know that over 2,000 women will spend their Christmas holidays imprisoned at the Central California Women's Facility, a state prison just a few miles north of Fresno in Chowchilla? Prison is always a depressing and lonely place to spend the holidays, far from the comfort of friends and family. It is easy to feel abandoned and forgotten by everyone outside of the prison walls. During this continuing time of COVID, it has been even more difficult. COVID brings lockdowns, quarantines, and a constant reshuffling of prisoners. Imagine if your roommates were shuffled based on their health status. This means increased stress, frequent suspension of activities, classes, support groups, counseling, and visiting. Of course, the Holiday Gift Bag Project cannot prevent any of this. However, in the past 20 years, we have heard over and over how a small gift of greeting cards, hygiene items, and holiday treats can be a big lift to the spirits of the women that are incarcerated. The Holiday Gift Bag Project is comprised entirely of volunteers from throughout the community, and we receive donations from throughout the state. We have no paid staff or office space. Although we collect and sort donated items for the gift bags, we do need cash donations to ensure we have sufficient items for everyone as the population at the prison shifts and changes, and we need to purchase the packaging materials. So when most of us think about the holidays, this is what we think about as a holiday gift bag. And we look forward to giving and receiving these, and we look forward to purchasing what we're going to get such excitement again to give and receive. But this is what the women at the prison receive each year. 1 gallon Ziploc bag, one time a year, as their only Christmas gift. And so we are blessed to be able to fill this 1 gallon bag with different things depending on the warden and the parameter and what we're allowed to do. And you will find it located in your church, and you can contact Joanne Michelson, a list of things that you can donate if you like to put things in the bag. But at this time of the year, when we get ready to put everything together, the cash donations make up the difference of whatever has not come in all during the year. And this is what made me passionate when I first saw that this was all they were going to receive, and I had to be involved. So that's enough from me. Let's instead close with words from a thank you note from one of these ladies. Chrissy said, "This is such a negative environment, and it tends to make one forget there still are good people in this world, to know that someone out there has love in their heart and cares made my heart smile. Truly, this is a project of love. We need your help to make sure that each woman who is living in these prisons knows that she has not been forgotten. So this morning, I, and of course, Joanne Michelson, who'll be watching online, ask you to pray, to ponder, and give generously whatever amount the Lord lays upon your heart to help this project continue serving these women. Thank you so much for considering this outreach opportunity, and thank you for me being here to worship with you this morning.
Thank you, Kimberly. If you'd like to support the work of the Holiday Gift Bag Project, a slide will appear in a moment with all the giving options for your virtual and Alluvial Avenue sanctuaries. You can also drop cash or checks in the basket held by ushers as you exit the sanctuary. Everyone can also use Cash App to contribute right now. Just send to $UU Fresno. That's $UU Fresno. But first, in the spirit of grateful generosity, please join me in our words of offering. If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? Thank you for supporting the Holiday Gift Bag Project. I appreciate the time I've spent with all of you in the congregation this morning, both on campus and virtually. It is a privilege to be up here and share my growth and commitment with this church community who I've chosen as my spiritual home. Thank you very much. As we prepare to end our service and enter into our afternoon, please join us in our Chalice Extinguishing words led by Karen and Troy.
Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts.
Tim will extinguish the chalice.
It is extinguished.
Oh, Tim, you have a few reminders before we end our closing words.
I do, Reva. First, let's give our appreciation to Stolen Thunder, to Reva, to Hannah. Very brief reminders. As the ushers open the door so folks will be able to exit the sanctuary, we're going to allow our socially distanced folks to head out first by those doors. The rest of you can choose to exit any door you wish or stay here for the rest of the day and have free air conditioning. Speaking of staying here the rest of the day, you are invited to join us in the courtyard for our iced coffee hour, rather than just coffee hour. And Cleo Bauer from the governing board will be at the visitors table to answer any questions you might have about the church or about Unitarian Universalism. Also, next week is our third Sunday food collection on Alluvial Ave campus. For Valley Children's Hospital families, we need non-refrigerated single-serve meals, instant meals such as oatmeal or other meals. And for Wesley United Methodists, we need cereal, tuna, and 15-ounce cans of beans soup and saltine crackers. Also outside in the breezeway will be the folks from our adult programs. We have brochures, we have things you can scan to register for our upcoming workshops and classes. There's an amazing array happening in the next 3 months, so I hope that you'll check out that at the table. Last but not least, we have our tradition that if this is your first, second, or third time with us, we like to gently welcome you because we're genuinely glad you chose to be with us. So if this is your first, second, or third time here on our Alluvial Ave campus, could you please rise for just a moment? Welcome, 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 welcome. I invite the rest of the congregation to rise with our closing words and then our sung benediction. If you came with a pod, feel free to join hands. If you're here on your own, just place your hands over your own precious beating heart. Our closing words come from Tess Baumberger. May the spirit of life and loving be with you as you move through life. May the spirit of life and loving nourish you in the dry times and allow the simple abundances of life, loving, patience, and compassion to flow to you and through you. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
2, 3.
Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. In love, go in
Shalom.
Shalom and
Assalamu
assalamu alaikum.
2, 3, 4.